highway superintendent for 38 years.
Yeah. Big. He's big over there. He's got a boulder with a plaque on it, right?
Yep. There's a picture on the. No, it's way up on top.
Oh yeah,
that's my daughter. And when she got married, the reception was at the. The very top picture I think is the rock, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, she got married at the town gazebo. Kathy Harrington married her.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that's the memorial stone and plaque that is outside the Wheatfield
when Don died,
Community Center.
Yeah, they were trying to think of something to honor him, and I said, well, I don't know. He dug, he was the one that dug the hole for the pond up at Fairmont Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then he was an employee of the town. He always dug, ran the grate all.
Mm.
And my son-in-law worked for the town, too.
Wow.
He's gone, too. They're all passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, when you worked for the highway garage at the time, when you started working for the town, it must have been over at the second town hall, at the building behind the 7-Eleven building, right?
No, he wasn't there then.
Oh, okay.
He was always just over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when you started working, they had
1977 maybe was when he started. I'm way back in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
When he started with the town.
Oh, okay. So
and
they
then
already...
when Mr. Kruger died.
Gotcha.
That was awful. He was here that day. Drove home, opened the truck door, and fell dead right on the ground. Heart attack.
Mr. Kruger?
Yeah. Henry Kruger.
Mm.
He was highway superintendent then. And Stan Brzezinski was the supervisor. He was there for a long time. Stan.
Yeah. Now, what do you recall about him? And
Stan Brzezinski?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was a nice man, but he was very tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he said something, that's the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, I think he was at Johnsburg, one of the installation dinners, and when he introduced Don, he said, "The man that does the salt shaker down the road." You know, everybody laughed. Oh, that was funny. Never thought about it that way. You know, yeah.
Because that's the thing you actually see.
Yeah.
On the ground, yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you think about things that happened during that time, like the building of the Summit Mall and the new town hall?
I remember that.
What were your impressions of that?
Don worked for, when I first met him, he worked for Marvin Wendt. He was a well driller. Mm-hmm. And there's a well right over here in this lot here that they drilled. I don't think it's ever been used, but it's there.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the neighbor's lot over there now. So
they must have come with certain.
Oh, they had a drilling
rig.
rig. Yeah, right. I remember that. I used to ride along and watch him. Huh. Yeah, he worked for Marvin Wendt. I don't know if you might not remember him.
I remember the Wendts.
Yeah, the Wendts. Yeah,
up in that area. Yeah,
right.
Like
Wendts Sanborn.
Wendts Propane and so forth.
Yeah, that's all relatives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So that's where what he was doing, and then he, when Henry Kruger died, then they said to him, "Why don't you run for highway superintendent? You've been there, a while." So he did, and he won. He had the most votes of anybody. He always did. They used to yell at him, "Oh, you got more votes than we did." He said, "Well, I can't help it. I didn't tell people to vote for me. They just,
No, and you're a Democrat, and you were, I believe, a figure in the Wheatfield Democratic Committee.
Yeah, I was. I was secretary for many years, but I gave that up now.
Right.
Yeah, the Democratic Committee right now can't get no candidates. Everybody is, we don't want to get involved in politics. I don't blame them.
Yeah,
and way back when Don was in, it wasn't like it is now.
Oh, how was it like between the parties back then that made them more attractive then? And what can people learn from your generation today?
Way back then, there wasn't all that nitpicking and arguing, and, they tried to work together. Like Don always said, you got to try to help everybody. Don't matter if what party they're with, you're supposed to, but now it's strictly seems to be party line.
Mm,
You know,
it seems
it's
so.
our
Yeah.
way or no way. That's the way it seems to me right now.
So illustrate an example, I think, of both parties working together to do something good for the community here.
Yeah.
And like when you first joined, um, were there certain councilmen or other people besides supervisor or committee people that were really active as you were?
Oh yeah, Joyce Egan was quite active in everything. I don't know, Matt Jurla. You probably don't
Mm,
remember them.
no.
He was a councilman for years. Jimmy Hoyer, I
Hmm.
think, was up there then.
Winston.
Oh yeah. Oh, I liked Winston. Him
Hmm.
and I had a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
He was a very, I like we said, Democrat, Republican. I didn't care. We didn't care. We got along.
Those lines blurred anyways.
Oh
Yeah, they
yeah.
tended to anyways.
And way back then. Now forget it.
Yeah. Right.
Although now the gang that's in there now, they're very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know. They're very good
Sure.
to
Yeah.
me and the seniors.
And me as well. Yes.
Yes, they're
Absolutely.
very cooperative. Don, you
Mm-hmm.
call him anytime, and he'll always,
Mm-hmm.
try to help if he can.
Oh,
And I
for
always
sure.
invite him always to our parties.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, like Randy works, so it's hard for him to get there, and so does
Yeah.
Kurt. So they don't.
Right. Right.
But we always include them. I think
Absolutely.
Thursday. I think Don and Gil, Larry can't come. I don't. He might be deer hunting. I'm
Well,
sure.
right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think one of the requirements for not requirements, but it
Yeah.
seems that one of the benefits, I suppose, that you might have is being a hunter on top of everything
Yeah.
else. So
Well, my
a lot
grandson.
of people hunt. A lot of people hunt here. Yeah.
The other day, a deer came from the woods, walked over here on the road, and it was blood all over it. So it must have got wounded,
Oh.
and it,
Oh.
it went down
dear.
the road, and I don't know where it went. And then another day, another one come walking.
Wow.
A fox has gone by here,
Wow.
so you never know what's coming out of the woods
Yeah,
back
really.
there.
No, I love the woods.
Yeah.
I've been born and raised
Yeah.
in the woods practically. I mean, well, okay. Coming out of Amherst, we moved to Wheatfield by 1988, and
Ah.
in the old Willonik
Oh yeah.
place over there. You remember Fritz Willonik?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you recall of him? I'm sure Don Mante worked with him sometimes.
I can't. I seen him and talked to him then, but I really can't remember an awful lot about him anymore now.
Oh, we live where?
His son was the one that did the bricklaying?
Well,
One of the Volanics.
yeah, Alfred Willonik.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the one that did the brick and stone masonry.
Okay.
He built our house,
Oh,
of course, and
okay.
all the stonework on it and everything
Yeah.
is unique to the
I
town
talked
in the
to
way it's
him
done.
a little
Yeah.
more than I did the other one. It
Yeah.
seems.
No, he was he was in the JCs. He was what were the JCs like at the time? I mean, a number of
I
contractors would
don't
get together.
remember them too
and,
awful much. No, I
just curious.
never. I don't know why. It just Art Croning. I remember him and I are good friends.
Oh yeah.
I like Art,
Mhm,
and
mhm, mhm.
he's a chowder man in Burkles. He
Oh,
makes
absolutely.
the chowder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Didn't he succeed Don Mante as
Yes.
superintendent?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
At Highway, and now
Yeah.
Paul Siegman's in charge.
Right.
Of that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paul's good. Yeah. Paul's very good. In fact, the Democrats wanted to endorse Paul and Don. Somebody else. Can't remember. This year I'm talking about
McSwan,
now.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to endorse him, but somebody in the other side of the party refused to let him. They said,
Right.
absolutely not. If you do that, we're not carrying your petitions.
Oh, well,
I
anyways.
ain't naming names.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Again,
Yeah.
it's more more of the behind the scenes stuff.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
So,
I don't like to do that.
but yeah, our property has still got a lot of the stone and brick and so forth that composed his business back in the day.
The only reason I checked now, I better see what she wants. Hello?
Hello, were you gone before?
No, I